So this is the Salesforce, the new Salesforce that we are going to provide to you guys. As you can see, it's very similar to what you have going on now. We have your homepage, which allows you to do all the things that you're doing now. You can go straight to this create new area and you can create a new BDC log, which is going to be the same as creating a new lead or a new sales up if you would like. You can create a new account, create tasks and events here. You see all your meetings scheduled for the day up front, any tasks that you have set for yourself to be started or due today or overdue would show up here. This is something that will be used for the trade appraisal process, and the mobility specialist will probably not see this, but the general managers and service managers will see items to review so that there's this appraisal standing out. There's an automated 3-step process for the appraisal piece, and so this is telling me that I still have to approve these 2 items before they can be sent back to the mobility specialist. And then the dashboard that I have set up right here for regarding sales ups, which is the same as opportunities. We can get it set up for anything, but you can see that it's pretty similar to what you're used to using. So I'm going to walk you through what it's like to have a lead in the new system. So if I'm in the BDC, or if you had to walk in, you would start with the sales up. There's none of this business of having to do a lead and convert it to an opportunity. But if I'm in the BDC, I'm going to start a new BDC log. And let's say I'm on the phone with Optimus Prime, and he needs a wheelchair van because he got attacked by Megatron and his legs don't work anymore. So I'm going to hit new, and we will encourage you to search for the account already, but it will show up. So for example, if I write my name here, which I know is not the customer we're talking about right now, it's going to show me that there's already an account that exists for this customer, and it'll show me the home phone number, the mobile, the email address, and the actual address. And so if I'm on the phone with the customer and I know that this is their phone number, I can just go ahead and say, hey, it is this customer I'm going to select, and then keep moving forward. But that was just to show you our customer today is going to be Optimus Prime. And unlike in the current lead screen, the business name and first name and client first name, this is all more streamlined. So if it's a customer, you're going to enter the first name and last name. If it's a business, you're going to enter the name of the business. And if you have data here, it's going to create a business account. And if you have data in just these 2 places, it's going to create a person account. And that has different implications. I've also tried to keep up with adding little help text for every single item here so that you always know what the true goal of this field is. You don't have to guess or ask your neighbors. You all have the same reference point here. So you don't have to go searching for documentation. It's right in front of you. So anyways, we're going to say that Optimus Prime is from a San Francisco area code. And we're going to say that he decided to give me his email and this will actually be an email to field so that you can take 2 emails if you need to. You can add the street information if you need to. And then he said that he's looking for a new vehicle, and I'm going to leave the status thing alone. If I ask how he heard about us, let's say he said it was from our website, so I'm going to click that. But because this is a test record, I'm just going to click this is a test. The referral data is here. We're working on getting this set up a little better for you guys. And then there's all these notes here, so you can say on the phone, Prime. And then you can just save the record as the BDC rep, and it gives us this screen. So if I'm in the BDC, how do I give this over to a salesperson? Well, I know that he's in a San Francisco area code, so I would probably say that he's out of area. However, let's say that that's his area code, but he's in Missouri for now and wants to buy something here and drive it back. So we're going to pick the location that the customer's hoping to buy from, and we picked this vehicle type, and so I can connect this to a sales up, which is going to be the same as converting a lead. But the cool part is that let's say that they didn't want a vehicle and that Optimus Prime really just wanted to get his self-serviced by us for some reason. I would click service, and you see how this button changed to create service appointment? That is going to allow you to connect it over to the service department instead of having to go through sales to go through service. So that should be a really helpful item in the future. But we're going to say it's a vehicle, and I'm going to just connect the sales up. So here's the sales up quite differently than what all this other filler information can be helpful, but the goal is to help you like get what you want right away. You don't just scroll if you don't need to. So I'm going to have the customer account here. If you need any of the account information, like the phone number, the address, anything, I'm going to have you guys go to the account itself to get that information. If there's a lot of pushback on this, we can always add the fields here, but I figured the sales up should just be the points that have to do with the sale, and if you want to contact the customer, you can go to their account and you'll be able to find their phone number and everything else from them. And notice how this is a bug. It didn't save the email, so we'll have to fix that. But anyways, so I'm going to say the best time to contact him is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I'm going to say that this stage is actually in the introduction phase. And we're going to say that the end user is Optimus Prime. So that if it was a mom that you were doing this for, but you knew that the end user was actually a different account, you could go there and click for a different end user. You would have to create an account for that person to do that. And we're going to say that his diagnosis is an amputation. His current solution is not really set. So, you know, like Bumblebee, if I can spell that right. So he has a person who's helping him get around. He's looking for this immediately. He says his wheelchair status, so this is to help you understand kind of like what's going on with the customer and if they're going to get a new wheelchair soon so that the replacement is due soon. You kind of have that information right here so that you know what, maybe we should really make sure that if XT is needed, that we're really paying attention to what the new wheelchair is going to be and what they're looking at, or they just have a power wheelchair or something. We're going to put none for him because he doesn't have a wheelchair. We're going to say that his funding status is that he's self-funded and it's already gone through. But as you can see, you can pick a couple of these options so that you can kind of keep track of that. You don't have to do it in the comments. So I'm going to say self, his desired budget, and he told me he didn't want to spend more than $45,000 and that he had a down payment of $5,000 and that his desired monthly payment is actually not going to be a thing because he's self-funding, and that he doesn't want anything over 20,000 miles. His desired options, we're going to go with XT required. And does he need a driving evaluation? No, so I'm just going to ignore this. But if he did need one, if the solution type was like driving aids or hand controls, then you could select that that was already complete or not, so you kind of know where they're at in that status. He's not trading in anything, but if he was, I could throw in here, 2007 Honda Accord, and that the comments of the trade-in, he's saying that it's brand new car or something. Anything about the lead here, I have all in one section, so you can just keep this as a running comment section so that I could sit here and say 1, 6, 17 notes. So I'm going to hit OK. If I did lose the business, I could say why I lost the business, and in the comments you can add more notes there, so I'll go through that later. But this does give you a drop down so that it kind of helps management figure out what exactly is going on with our customers overall at a high level, and then the comments can give us more information if we wanted to contact the customer and reach out to them more. So all of this is kind of information that you don't really need to mess with beyond maybe one time. So this is a sales lead, the status is open. I would want to automate all of this based off of the solution type. So the other thing is this intake method should have came over from the other screen. So we're going to say it was phone, and I could add referral information if I wanted to. I'm going to save this, and then I can just work the lead from here. So if I wanted to add a new task, I could say, okay, new task, get quote, and we'll say that he wanted a quote by tomorrow. So I'm going to set a reminder for myself for tomorrow. It's related to this sales up, and I'm going to create that task. It's going to show up under my task. I could also log a call if I wanted to. So I could say we just had a call. You know, whatever notes you need to take about that, you could log a call. Very similar to what you're doing now in Salesforce. You can also create a new event from up here and more. So this is about how the sales part goes. If I wanted to create an appointment, it would show up on my calendar. I could say that they're coming in tomorrow. It's confirmed because I just talked to him, and that's my appointment. And so when I come in tomorrow, I'll see on my home screen when I first log in that I have this sales appointment with Optimus Prime at noon, and then I have this new task here about getting a quote of vehicles to Optimus Prime. I can pull up the sales up right from there. Should be pretty easy to use, pretty intuitive. You already know how to use the system, so this is about what we have. I will go through the second portion of converting a sales up to a deal and what that looks like next week. So this is all I have.